Hey everyone, this is Phil, and today I want to take you along on my weekend in Tokyo and the surrounding areas. The camera I chose for this weekend is the Mamiya 6. The Mamiya 6 is a rangefinder medium format camera that's been getting a lot of attention lately, and I think it's well deserved. This camera shoots 6x6, which is a square format, and it has interchangeable lenses. It has a collapsible bellows that makes it super compact, and it's altogether very nice and comfortable to use. I have a bit of a love and hate relationship with this camera. There's a ton of good things about it, but for some reason I haven't really gotten used to it yet. I'm hoping that'll change at some point. I got my Mamiya 6 for relatively cheap. It has a broken front glass on the viewfinder, which as far as I can tell doesn't really interfere with normal operations. Just takes pictures just fine. Meter works, and all the frame lines and the LEDs inside the viewfinder are working as well. The one thing that I have noticed is that the rangefinder patch is kind of dim. This camera has a yellow tinted rangefinder that for me, unless it's in really good conditions, when there's a ton of contrast, then it's easy to focus. Otherwise I kind of hunt a bit. So I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the broken front glass. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, as I said, it's in great condition, and it has the rare sample writing right below the serial number, which basically means it was a display sample at some point, at a point when camera manufacturers weren't manufacturing mock-ups as displays for stores to sell them. The good things about this camera is, one, it's very compact for a medium format camera. If you compare this to the Fuji GW690 that I had in my last video, it's a world of difference. These two next to each other. It has an internal bellows with a plastic cover over it, and if you hit this button here and pull out the lens, it just comes out, and you can see it actually extended the bellows here too. So collapsed, it's a good deal more compact, which is an ingenious feature. I love this. And there's 3 lenses available for this. This is the 50mm f4. In retrospect, I probably should have gone for the 75mm, which is even more compact than this one, and offers a slightly narrower field, which would be a nicer focal length, since I don't get super close to subjects most of the time. What I don't like about this camera, as I've mentioned, the rangefinder patch is kind of dim, especially in low light conditions, which for me tends to be a lot of the time. It also doesn't allow for multiple exposures. As you've known, I tend to take a lot of double exposures, and this camera doesn't allow me to. Another thing that I personally haven't gotten used to is the square format. A lot of people will associate medium format with square format right away, as the most famous cameras tend to be either 6x6 or 6x7. For me, I haven't quite learned to frame in a square format yet, and that results in a lot of dull photos. So come along with me on my weekend. I've got a ton of stuff planned this weekend, and let's see how the pictures turn out. The first stop on our weekend was a fireworks festival down in Chiba. I didn't get any video here because I was with my wife and we were just enjoying the time. I did take some pictures of the vending stands there at the festival, and I really like how these turned out. I think this is one area where the Mamiya 6 really shines because it has leaf shutters built into the lenses, and obviously those don't produce any mirror slap. You're able to shoot at really long exposure times, and I really like
the level of detail that the Mamiya 6 was able to attain in basically pitch dark conditions there. And then of course the fireworks started. For the first few frames I struggled a little bit, especially when there's just one or two bursts of firework in the frame. Once I figured out a good exposure time, then I think I got some really nice shots. I'm very happy with the last few. These are all on Lomography 800, which I've been using a bunch lately. So my next location is down in Odaiba by Tokyo Bay. I love the architecture down there. There's a lot more space than in central Tokyo, and I love the leading lines that this bridge gives. Looks really good in this picture. And what you can see in this picture is unfortunately one of the shortcomings of rangefinder cameras. I did not intend to position the central line there so far to the right. What I had pictured in my mind was more like this. If anyone has any tips concerning rangefinders and how to avoid getting these parallax shifts, that would be awesome. Please do let me know in the comments. I was actually in that area for a zine fest called Comitia, and the convention center just again offered some interesting architecture. I shot all of these without checking my exposure speed, so while I was stopping down the aperture, my shutter speed was actually still very slow from the previous evening, and all things considered, these pictures just turned out great. So the next day I was in Ikebukuro, which is a central area that I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. I was there for a photography related reason, but I'm gonna make a separate video about that, so just enjoy the photos for now. In this shot I was aiming for the reflections in the mirror. The parallax from the rangefinder, but also my timing kind of screwed with it, and also I think it would have looked far nicer with a longer lens.
That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed seeing my shots from this weekend. Had a lot of fun shooting with the Mamiya 6 in between things, and I actually enjoyed some of the shots that I've gotten quite a bit. I have gotten very close to selling the Mamiya 6, one because I still haven't gotten used to shooting in 6x6 and I enjoy rectangular formats more, and two, I know that I've gotten it for very cheap and I could probably sell it for more than that, but for now I'm holding off on it, and I hope I can get some good shots with this camera, and you might just see it again in another video. Last time I forgot to mention, I do have an Instagram account that I would love if you checked out. A lot of my pictures are on there that I haven't shown in the videos, and I would love if you checked it out. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again.